Are you at home?
Yeah, I'm at home.
Oh, I'm sorry to disturb you.
The year before, and some of the texts that we use, the kids are able to write on them.
Oh, I know, understand. Okay, and what kind of books do you think attracts lower grades most?
Picture books.
Oh, picture books.
Yeah.
You mean graphic novels?
No, they're different. Graphic novels, they have, word bubbles. Picture books, they just have picture and then they have a story that's being told.
Okay. And what kind of books in intro attracts higher grade the most?
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what attracts higher grades.
Oh.
I think if it is it's like a 6th or 7th grader. I think maybe contemporary genres where they talk about a teenage situation. I think teenagers like to read about teenagers.
Oh, you mean the realistic fiction?
Oh yes, realistic fiction.
Oh, okay. And do you think there is a master book suiting 99% students?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. And can you give me some titles that you are using? You think they are very good?
Some book titles.
Yeah.
That are what? Which, be a little bit more specific. That's why.
Yeah, is a bit specific.
Which ones? Which books? The novels?
I mean, you are using at hand, like for grade 3 to grade 5.
I know for the fourth grade, the novel that they're currently reading is called The Hope Chess.
Hope Chess?
Yes, Hope Chess.
How to spell hope? Hope? Hope Chess?
Hope Chess.
Oh, chess, it means play chess, right? Okay,
Yes.
I know, Hope Chess. And what do you think is good? Why do you think it's appealing?
I actually never read the story. I know the 4th graders are reading the story. The 5th graders, on the other hand, they're reading Esperanza Rising. But I think you asked me that question already. They're reading Esperanza Rising, and to emphasize with her, and then the plot of the story is pretty good. So when I read it to my students last year, they were pretty engaged with the story.
Okay.
I know they also read towards the end of the school year. They read a novel about a natural disaster. I don't remember what it was. I know in the 6th grade that they read the novel Bud, not Buddy. So it's basically like a realistic fiction where the character in the story is a young African American male, and he's ran away from his foster parents, and he's trying to find his real father. And then I think because that the children's race, I think they're able to identify with Bud. And then even in the story, I think he gets bullied and abused by his step brother. So I think if they're able to relate to the character.
So your students are black students.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
so
then
they.
also, I think it was the language that the text used. It was kind of, humorous, something they could relate to.
Oh,
Um,
I know.
I,
I
they
understand.
liked it.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so it's close to your culture, their culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Yes,
can understand.
exactly.
I can understand. And did you see changes of your students' interest in the books they like as they grow older?
Um, I know it's not easy for me. It's not really easy for me to see that it change yet. But I do see a change in their level of independence,
Oh, really?
where, they would need some support from me
Mm,
in order for them to read certain books. Whereas if they reach a read, if they've reached a certain level, they don't need my support as much, and they're able to just, figure out what they're gonna do,
mm.
to read a book.
Oh, so it's a grow
I
in
think it's
there.
their level of independence change.
Oh, I understand. So you see growth in their reading ability.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I understand. But another interviewer told me, uh, at the very beginning, her students doesn't like historical fiction. But as they
Mm-hmm.
grow older, they become interested. Do you think so?
Oh, it's quite possible, but I don't think it's not something that it's easy for me to see or easy for me to track.
Oh,
I can say that this school year that I have taught a lot of like historical information for like African American history. Maybe before I taught that genre, they probably may have not been that interested in the civil rights movement. But then after I taught it, it made them want to kind of like, oh, let me choose this book from the library and read it, because I remember Miss Lou told me about it. So
oh,
they are, somewhat influenced by what I teach them.
okay, I understand.
And then I've also taught them about the Great Depression. And, you just reminded me, maybe if I get some books about the Great Depression, they might want to read that.
Oh, so you don't see obvious growth in their interest.
But what I notice is that they want to read more,
Oh, they want to read
and
more.
then that they become independent readers.
Oh, after your teaching, right?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. No, understand. Oh, so you have done great job.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
And what books least attract your students so you find them less engaged?
You know what? Unfortunately, for my students, the books that they find less interested in are usually novels.
Oh,
And I want to encourage them more to read
sorry, excuse
novels.
me. They find interest in novel or least interest?
Least interested in
Oh,
novels.
least interest in novel.
Because I think for them, it's the length of it. They kind of have to build their stamina for reading. And
Oh,
then with our program, we don't really teach the novels as much. But with, like I was telling you, the story Bud Not Buddy, we just teach an excerpt from that book, not the whole thing, just a
oh,
portion for it.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
So, what are the
But with
students?
other literacy programs in the school, they would be reading a novel, just not in my program.
Oh, I know. I understand. So, what are the common difficulties your students have in understanding a novel?
really misunderstand a novel, but I think, the process of reading a novel is not gonna take some of them a couple of days to read. Because of the way that my program is set up, it might take them 3 weeks to finish a novel, just because of the way that is set up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Understand. And do you think your classroom is a teacher-centered classroom or student-centered one?
It's student-centered.
Why?
Because the main focus is not on me anymore. The main focus is on the students. So, like I was explaining before, it's not like a regular, literacy classroom where, the teacher gets up and teaches, and, have a lesson and then they teach it to the whole class. I have a classroom where I actually rotate the students. So we have small group, and the most I'll have is like 4 students in that small group. If I want to say, somebody, because you missed your work yesterday, come join this group. But for the most part, it's almost only 4 kids.
So your students are those who have problems?
Yes, and no. Those kids that I have, some of them are really below level, while others are just slightly below. So I don't want to really say that, because my program is not a special ed program. But then I still have to be special ed certified to do it.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit tricky. It's not quite there. My program is an intervention.
Oh, intervention.
See, maybe they do need something more, but it's not that. So I was saying, I do small group, have about 4 kids. The other group in the classroom, that have 4 kids, and they do independent reading. So they choose a book from the library that is at their level, and then they read it on their own. They complete a book log. That's just them doing it by themselves. I had went through the process of how you read a book independently at the beginning of the school year. So this is something that we practice, that we've practiced in the beginning of the school year, and they know exactly what to do on themselves, on their own, okay?
I know.
So that group has about 4 kids.
Okay.
Another group, they work on the computer, on spelling. They work on revising sentences. They can work on fluency, where they read like a paragraph on the computer. They record their reading, and I go into the computer and I check their work. So altogether, the classroom could have about 12 kids.
So they have different tasks in different groups.
Exactly. And then they rotate every day.
I understand. And it is easy to organize them, like quiet?
Yes, that's how it's organized.
Okay. And
so they're not really allowed to talk, only when they get into like small group with me.
Okay. You mean they
activities are independent for them to do.
So no jigsaw?
No. It's not like that.
Oh, I know. Your classroom is a little bit different. It's not regular literacy classroom.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. I understand. I understand.
It's like, and it's a lot more reading too. It's a lot more reading.
Okay. And
And it's a lot of you doing stuff on your own.
oh, I know. And did you teach regular literacy class?
I had last year.
Oh, last year. So can you tell me the most common sequence of your teaching?
For a regular literacy
Yeah,
class?
like teach a novel or teach a story book. The common sequence of activities.
All right. Okay, so like with a regular lesson, you usually start off with an anticipatory set where you introduce the lesson based on the student's frame of reference. Like you think about something that the student might be interested, and then you build a connection. Oh, you say, today class, remember we learned about African American history, and then you say, today we're going to read about or we're going to read a novel about Ruby Bridges. Okay.
Oh, this is a lead-in.
Yeah.
So this is an introduction, like.
Yes, yes, that's an introduction. Maybe you might do a very small activity for the introduction. All right, so once you've done that, one thing that our school is very big on is close reading. And with close reading activities, they have a guide where the students read the text at least 3 times.
Oh.
3 times doesn't mean to full completion, but each time you're looking at the text for different things. So one read might be you're looking at vocabulary words. Hey class, I want you to read page 67. Just read it so you can find words that are not familiar with. Are not familiar or tricky, and then you go back to the class. So which words are not tricky? Like what strategies can we use to try to figure out the words? Okay, and then you go over some of the words. Oh, let's do a second read. This time we're reading to find out. Say. The gist. The gist is what's going on in the paragraph.
Gist? What's gist?
Yeah, the gist. The gist, like the main idea.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Oh, this paragraph is about when Ruby's first day of school. All right. So that's the second read. Oh, on the third read class, I want you to go back and read and find out a specific piece of information for me.
Oh, goes deeper.
Yes, goes deeper. Each time it goes deeper and deeper. And that's why they call it close reading, so that so that the students have a deeper understanding of what's going on in the text instead of just reading it through and not getting the main point.
So how long?
How
long does the 3 reading takes?
I think it could last for almost a half an hour, depending on your lesson. Then you could they could partner read. They could do a comprehension activity. Maybe they could do a cause and effect activity based on the comprehension skill that you would like them to do. And then you could go into some independent work. So you had modeled to them what you want them to do for the comprehension skill. And then after the independent practice, maybe you could go over some of the things that they probably struggled. You don't have to go over every single thing with them. Could just be a few, questions that they have. You have your closing, and then maybe you could close off the lesson with a reflection question. Yeah, that's how it would go.
Oh, so how long does it usually take finish a book? Like Esperanza?
It depends on the book. I think it could take up to 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, so
because you're doing something as a class, you're reviewing the information, and then it's reading a novel. I think sometimes is very heavily dependent if kids are actually going home and doing what they're supposed to. And that has been one of the most struggles with the children in our population. Because the parents don't really read to their kids, and children are not really interested in books unless, the teachers kind of mandate them or force them to do it. And what I have done in the past, because I know that my students don't really read at home, because that part I understand. I understand that. So I try to get as much work done in school. Okay? So it's not, now eventually everything becomes a punishment. You didn't do your homework. I can't really blame that on the child.
Oh, you mean at home, nobody gives them help?
Oh, yes. No help, no support. So what am I going to keep banging my head over the same wall for no reason? It becomes a punishment for me. So I have to try find a way to try to figure out what's going to happen and what I have to do.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, the situation is different everywhere. And I have I know the fifth and sixth grade and fourth grade language arts teacher, they're always complaining how the kids do not do the ELA homework, and it has been much struggle for them.
Really?
It's a struggle for them. So just imagine, if you have this novel that's very interesting and you want them to go home and read, but they're not going to do it. And then what I've also done, I tell them, this novel you're able to access on YouTube. I remember Esperanza. If you go ahead and type it up, Esperanza Rising on YouTube, you could actually, there's a YouTube video that reads the whole book to you. So I do tell them that there is that information out there for them to access. And also, we have another resource called, I think I was telling you before, it's called Learning Ally, and it's a recorded voice that reads the book to them. So just to give them a level of independence. But still, even sometimes with these resources out there, that doesn't guarantee that the child will use it.
Oh, I understand. And how long does it take you finishing Esperanza? Even in regular literacy?
It took, I feel it took about 3 weeks to finish it because we had to do lessons in between.
Oh, but another teacher told me she also taught Esperanza. It takes her whole semester.
It what?
It takes her a whole semester, 4 months.
It depends. It always depends.
Oh, it's like 4 months. Why does it take her so long?
4 months?
Yeah.
4 months?
It's like maybe, but much longer than you.
That's half the year. No.
Is it impossible?
I would not spend half the year teaching Esperanza Rising because there's so much to learn.
Oh,
No. Can you imagine teaching Esperanza Rising for 4 months? So what else do you learn?
I mean, only for reading.
Yes, only you know what? Esperanza Rising, you can connect that to social studies too. And that's the good thing about it because it teaches you about they make references to the Mexican Revolution and also, some cultures that Mexico have.
Oh, and did you relate reading and writing?
Yes, you also would be teaching reading and writing. You would be incorporating writing
I know.
into that.
I understand. And can you summarize the most frequent used like activities or strategies in your reading class?
The strategy would have been, like I told you before, close reading, where we use the three reads
Three
in
read.
order to get a deeper understanding of the text. So that's the main strategy that we use at our school.
Oh, three read. And can you tell me more detail? Like in these three read, what kind of form? Like do you do reciprocal teaching or graphic organizers, word wall like this?
Okay. For the three reads, I have an anchor chart that I make. So it's an anchor chart. I'll describe it to you. It has a shovel, and the shovel has some dirt, and it has the shovel going into the dirt, and it says dig deep. And then it says on the first read, it says something, and then they say the second read, and then the third read. What you want to get to is the third read and get a deeper understanding of the text.
Oh, so you mean most of the time students read dependently and quietly, not collaborate?
They like I told you before. Sometimes they could read together during a close reading.
Oh, I know. But most of the time,
I told you that during a close read, they could even try to look for vocabulary words. And then I also told you that they could also look for specific information. That is a main strategy that we use, close reading.
or do you put them in circles?
It depends.
Oh, depends. Okay, understand. And which activities do you think are more effective in attracting students' attention?
What do you mean?
I mean, when you are conducting these activities, students become more engaged. It's like
how would they become more engaged?
it's like do they like read aloud? Do they like listening to songs, music, or do they like identify similarities and differences? What kind of activities do you think attract most?
They like it when I read aloud to them.
Oh, like you are modeling.
Yes, they generally do not like when a classmate reads to them.
Oh.
So I personally don't think that is effective.
Oh, so you don't play the audio.
It's always better when I read it because I'm able to model fluency a little bit better. They enjoyed read aloud.
Oh, I understand. Understand. So do you think your class is good at cultivating students' critical thinking?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And as far as them working independently, I'm not sure. I think it helps supports critical thinking, because I know you need to understand a text deeply, and then it has you closely reading a text. In order for you to do that level of critical thinking, I think you need to deeply understand the text. And then I think my class would offer that type of support.
I mean, do you expose your students to different points of views?
In small groups, I do try. I try to, incorporate critical thinking skills and comprehension skills. And so, what do you consider? What do you consider critical thinking?
It's like you allow students to express their own point of view, and
of course, when we're reading a book in small group, I ask them questions, and I do want to hear what they think. Like, I remember we were reading the excerpt from But Not Buddy, and then we had viewed a video on the Great Depression, and I had to ask them, do you think, something like that could ever happen in America? Some of them thought, it wasn't possible, while some of them did find it to be possible, that, there could be a time where the stock market crashes and, we all go into some kind of chaos. So it was important for me to hear that point of view, and for them to understand that, everything is not always going to be perfect. And then there's some of them that expressed to me, you know what, Ms. Lu, there's, not everybody in America has it, made. There's still some people that were struggling. And I thought it was important for me to hear that from my students, that, they don't have that type of image of America where everything is perfect. They do recognize that there are still some people who are struggling, and, that they're standing in lines and then they're waiting for food. So that was good.
Oh, so you are cultivating their sympathy.
Yes.
Oh, I understand. And how how do you expose your students to? Do you expose your students to alternative tests about the same issue?
What do you mean?
I mean, if this Esperanza is about immigrant issue, and after you finish Esperanza, did you provide them alternative tests, like a poetry, like a short story or so on immigrant issue?
Yes, I forgot what it is that we read that had to do with. Oh, okay. So this is the connecting text that we did. We actually did it before Esperanza Rising. So we looked at, what did we look at? We looked at the human rights. So we looked at the UDHR. I forgot what it stands for.
So you like...
It's a primary source, and we went through some of the rights of people, that you have a right to an education. You have, a right to marry whoever you want and not be forced into marriage. And then we had connected some of what that information, how it connects to Esperanza Rising, and how some of the rights were being, her rights were not being protected. Like, when the uncle, I think they wanted to marry the mother, and how her right was being violated. I think I wonder if we touch like the right to an education or something like that. because I think when she got to America, I'm not quite sure if she was able to go to school at the time. And then we kind of made some speculations about that. So we did connect it to the UDHR. And then there's some parts of Esperanza where the students were able to take portions of the story and create like a play.
Oh.
So they were able to like go over a script and, you know, read over it and perform parts of the story. So yes, we do connect it to different activities.
Oh, I understand. So you try to make full use of the test.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you think
That I think might last probably a month and a half.
Oh.
But I try not to, I really don't like to focus on one book for too long because, you know, sometimes it's just like stretching it, and I want to expose the kids to different literature. So.
Oh, so you can finish like 2 or 3 books in a semester, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
Not to rush them, but just to get them the exposure.
Oh, I understand. Okay, and what do you think is the biggest change of your reading class or any class compared with that of 3 years ago?
I think the biggest change has probably less flexibility in the activities that I could do. Just like the activities that I was sharing with you, we don't really get to do too much of that. But I know the benefit now is that I think the kids are able to choose books that they like and focus more on their independent reading skills. And I think that's why sometimes that they have language arts is broken down into several periods. So that, you know, one period maybe they're focusing on the text, and then the next period they're focusing on independent reading. I think literacy, there's different aspects of literacy because not, you know, you don't always have to be engaged in a whole group activity because I know this goes on in their regular classroom. Why would I want to give them more of that when what they need is probably more practice in doing something?
Okay.
Maybe they need more practice with fluency. And maybe they're not getting that in their regular class. Maybe they don't really have the opportunity to practice a book that's on their level. The book that the class is reading is usually a little bit higher than what they can read. And if they're reading on a second grade level, then that means in actuality, they can't really read that book.
Oh, so do you think it's good for students read books that a little bit higher than their real ability?
Just slightly. If it's slightly, it's with the teacher's support. Teacher has to support them because it gets, you know, to a certain point where they become too frustrated. It's too hard.
Understand. So, in what occasions do you think teacher in your reading class? In what occasions do you think teachers should not interfere with?
What?
I mean, the teacher should not interfere with, should not help students. You should let students to do by them on their own.
I don't think if a child needs help, the child needs help. I don't think, but there are certain tasks it's for you to do independently. I can't, I can give you the strategies for you to figure out how to, you know, decode a word, but I'm not going to sit there and do everything for you.
Okay. The final question is, what's the most common assessment you gave for your student?
I told you this sheet. I'm not going to tell you. We went over this the first day.
Hey, the first day? Really?
Yes. On Wednesday, I told you the assessment, and I actually wrote it down on the paper.
Oh, yeah. Assessment.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And what about the presentation?
Oh, you're so funny. What time is it?
I mean,
You talk so much, She.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, but
I don't know right now. I guess I can tell you tomorrow because if you saw the text message, that means they'll be sending us the information that they've done, and then I know Jen has done her portion. If you saw it. So whatever is left, we should go ahead and summarize them. Okay?
yeah, but
Maybe on Saturday we could work on it. And I'll let you know which ones.
yeah, you mean we should, every one of us should charge for several slides?
Well, no, we're not talking about the slides. We're talking about the annotated bibliography.
But
With whatever sources that we use, we're gonna write a page about the source.
but I remember you have finished it. Why there are so many another annotation? You have finished it, right?
I don't know. I don't know. They just said the other group, that's what they had to do. So I said, okay, like, whatever.
It's strange. You have finished.
I know.
So I feel strange why looking at the message. You have shared with us the citations, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Oh,
It's getting crazy, right?
it's getting crazy. They kept adding anything whenever they want.
Yeah, of course.
But we shouldn't. We should decide on which slides. We are in charge for. Oh, I don't know.
But I think I could talk to you on Saturday and we could see which slides we're gonna divide the slides.
Oh, but I know
Which
we
one?
too in charge of the types of learner, right?
Huh?
We too, and
we're gonna do the types of learner.
yeah, so
But
I
then
can.
I have to see which slides that she puts there.
Yeah, okay, I know. So I only have to focus on slides of types of learner, okay?
But we're doing that part together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want spending time on other slides. Only those slides on types of learner.
Yeah, of course. We're not gonna focus on anything else.
Yeah, maybe we can.
I thought it was strange too, like what they're doing, and they're very immature. I'm sorry, I would never choose to work with them. They're horrible. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Like, the last group that we worked on, it wasn't like that, And the problem is, like, the professor really didn't give us that much direction, which made it even worse. So I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
That's not how. And then, they try to take charge, but they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but because
sorry.
I didn't say anything about critical literacy.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't know. So how can we answer the questions in the?
I don't know. Well, we'll talk about it, I think, Saturday.
Okay. Thank you. I learned a lot from you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I learned a lot because you tell me very detailed.
Okay.
Very detailed. I think I can write what you said into the essay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. You're welcome.
There's